It's Jack from B&T MacFarlane, and today we're going to be going over the difference between the BX series of Kubota tractors and the B01 series of Kubota tractors. So let's get into it. So we get a lot of questions from our customers is when should I be sizing up in terms of my tractor? So the tractor on my right here, that's going to be your B01 series of Kubota. So that's the first compact tractor in Kubota's lineup. This actually is the B2601, so it is the big brother of the 2301. And right here behind me, that's the BX23S. So that is the TLB within Kubota's BX lineup. So that's Kubota's subcompact tractor lineup. So we generally tell customers is to look at your applications and see what kinds of things you're going to be doing with your tractor. And that comes down to how much acreage you're looking to mow, if you're looking to be in the woods or anything like that, what kinds of loads are you looking to lift, and if you're looking to travel between long distances as well, because when you jump between these two tractors, I know when you look at photos online, it's kind of not the clearest thing in the world to see the difference between them, but when you actually get in the seat of these tractors and have a bit of time with them at your dealership, you tend to see some of the key differences that might make you want to size up to the next model. So we're going to start over here with the BX23S. So one of the most important things, arguably, when you're getting a new tractor is going to be the lift capacity of your front end loader. So there is quite a big difference between these two tractors. On your BX lineup, you're going to be given the LA340S loader. So it's going to lift about 510 pounds within the bucket. And over on your B2601, you're going to get the LA435, and that's going to lift about 700 pounds effectively. And when you're actually using these tractors too, the BX lineup, you're going to be with a 48-inch bucket versus a 54-inch bucket in your B2601. So I know it's only 12 inches, but that actually does make quite a bit of difference when you're hauling dirt and you want to make maybe 50 loads in a day. It actually cuts down a lot of time, especially if... So I'm standing in between these two tractors here, and hopefully it comes across on camera, but there is quite a bit of difference in terms of ground clearance with these two tractors. So both these tractors, they both have a mid-PTO. This one just happens to have a mower deck attached to it at the moment. So on your BX lineup, it's more geared towards somebody who's going to be using it on a manicured lawn. So that's any kind of gardening across a lawn. It's really not meant to go into the deep dark woods and do a whole bunch of off-roading. But with that being said, the BX without this mower deck, you're going to have a ground clearance of about 8.4 inches. And then in your B2601 over here, you're going to have a ground clearance of about 12.5 inches. So the second we hear customers start saying we want to do some logging with it, pulling logs out of the bush, even going in kind of like a rockier terrain, that's when we start to suggest moving up into your compact line of tractors. One key thing with the gear selector is it's going to have a high and low range, which will allow it to do about 13 kilometers an hour down the road in the high range, and the low range is actually going to be used for your pulling power or any kind of loader work. But in your B2601, that's when you move into more of a traditional tractor setup with your gear range. You're actually going to have a high, low, and medium range within that selector. So it's going to have kind of the same effective ranges with your high and your low, but the transmission is geared a little bit different. So your high range is actually going to be significantly higher than in your BX. It's going to allow you to do about 20 kilometers an hour in your B2601. And that low range is geared significantly lower than in your BX series tractor. So that's another thing when you look at your application. If you want to do a lot of heavy lifting, a lot of heavy towing and hauling of logs, that's when the compact tractor might suit your needs a little bit better. And it's just because that low range allows you to get a little bit more low end torque to do those pulling applications. So I know both of these tractors right now, they have backhoes on them, but they both have capabilities of using a 3-point hitch. And there are some key differences when you're looking at the 3-point hitch between these two tractors. So in your BX lineup of tractors, it is a proper tractor. You do get a Category 1 3-point hitch on the rear, as well as a rear PTO, a mid PTO, 4-wheel drive, and all that. So it is a proper tractor. But you're going to be limited to the size of implements you can actually put on the rear of that 3-point hitch. So we generally send them with Land Pride's 48-inch box scrapers, or 54-inch box scrapers, sorry, a 60-inch blade, and you're going to be limited to about a 48-inch rotary cutter on the back of these tractors. That's just because there's only 17.5 PTO horsepower coming out of your 23S. There's about 19.5 horsepower coming out of your 2601. I know 2 horsepower doesn't really sound like a whole lot, but it does make quite a bit of difference. It allows you to run about a 60-inch rotary cutter on your 2601. One more key difference in your 3-point hitch is the BX lineup. It's actually not a selectable 3-point hitch. It's just a straight up and down, where on your compact and B01 series tractor, it's going to be a selectable 3-point hitch. So you're going to have about 10 settings of height adjustment within your 3-point hitch. So keeping on the theme of rear implements, we have the backhoe. This one actually does come with a backhoe. The BX23S comes with one as well. So just like all the other implements, when you size up to a compact tractor, you do just get the same implement but more of it. So this one here, it's going to dig about 7 and a bit feet down on a flat bottom, where your BX lineup, you're going to be digging about 6 and a bit feet down. With that being said, you do get a little bit more breakout force and stuff like that, and that goes for all the same implements that go with your B01 series tractor. They are a little bit larger, a little bit more powerful, but it kind of comes down to the application that you're going to be using the tractor for. If all you're looking for is to kind of do a little bit of property maintenance on about 2 to 5 acres, then 100% I would recommend the BX series tractor. It'll be more than enough for your applications. But if you're looking to take it one step further into kind of the woods and do some more, I guess, tractory things with it, then that's when we would start recommending you going up into the compact tractor lineup. So looking at these two tractors here, I hope I kind of labeled some key differences between the two of them. I know when you're looking at the brochures and all the spec sheets, they all kind of start to look the same. Of course, both these tractors are going to fit your application very, very well. The BX series tractor, it's going to be more geared if you're on a manicured lawn with about 2 to 5 acres, like I mentioned. And anything kind of approaching 10 acres, that's when I would start to recommend the B01 series and the B2601 especially. With that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys need help with parts, service, or sales, give us a call at 613-225-0555. And thanks for watching.